to UVA. This is our Wine Tasting 101. Today we have some of the people from UVA that are going to help introduce you to a couple wines. We're going to explain to you the best way to taste wine. We're going to introduce you to 4 different grape varieties during this tasting that hopefully you have at home right now and in front of you. And we'll just do a couple quick introductions. This is Michelle. She's co-owner of UVA. This is Regina. She's our assistant manager. I'm Katie. I'm one of the owners as well. And this is Kathleen. She's our kitchen manager. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to taste wine. A lot of people think, oh, it's so easy, you just drink wine. But there's a little bit more to it. So there's what we call the 5 S's of tasting wine. The first one is C. So what you want to do is take a look at the color. Whites have a broad spectrum of colors from clear to almost golden. Reds can be really light and ruby, like a garnet color that you can see through, all the way down the wine spectrum, when Michelle will talk about that in a little bit, to more deep, almost black colors. So the first thing you're going to do is look at the wine and see what you got. This I'm drinking is a Pinot Noir. So it's pretty clear red. I really like Pinot Noir, so this looks very appealing to me. The next thing you're going to do is swirl your wine. So there's a couple ways you can do that. You can just go like this to get some oxygen in there. It releases some of the molecules. It makes the smell a little bit stronger so you can see what it's going to be like. The other way you can swirl wine is just put it on your table and swirl it like this. And you want to, get kind of aggressive with it. Get a good swirl going for a couple seconds. Then what you're going to do is smell it. Get your nose in there, and there's a broad spectrum of smells you might smell when you taste wine. It might be fruity, it might be earthy, what some people call like mushroomy or fungus, even a barnyard kind of smell sometimes. But you really want to get in there and smell your wine. This is definitely a more fruity wine. This is a Pinot Noir that I have here. So they say that 80% of your taste is attributed to the smell of whatever you're eating or drinking. So it's really important to find a wine that is going to smell good to you. And then the best part, you get to sip the wine. This is our favorite part. The first sip is a really good introduction to the wine, but that's not really where you're going to get the real taste of the wine. We like to give wines 3 tastes before we determine what it really tastes like to us. So,
And whether we like it.
Whether we like it or not. Never make a first impression on the first taste. You always want to try them 3 times.
I love that second sip.
I think if you have the right wine, it just gets better and better, right? That's the idea. So, yeah.
So if it's your first wine of the day, definitely give it.
First day, I get 3 sips, and then you're right in there. So, and then the last step is spin. If you're, sorry, Lisa. And if you're really tasting wines and tasting a lot of wines, you might want to have a little cup where you can spit your wine out. So,
What about cleaning your palate?
So, you mean between wines?
Yes.
A lot of times people eat crackers or something like that to cleanse their palate. So, you can do water, but
People do. They
yeah,
ask.
they do a
come
little
in and they ask, should they, if I'm going to go from one wine to another,
Yeah.
whether it be whites to reds to white, or different varieties of wine,
yeah.
should I drink water?
Yeah, you can do water or like a water cracker or something like that, just a very benign cracker. Those are the 5 S's. See, swirl, smell, sip, spit. If you're so inclined. So that's it. Now, Michelle's going to talk about the spectrum of wines.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the spectrum of wines, we're essentially talking about the boldness or intensity of the wines. And what we do is we divide that spectrum into the white spectrum and the red spectrum. And essentially, the boldness and intensity of the wine comes from the thickness of the grape, the pigments that are in the grape, as well as some other qualities like how long those skins kind of stay in the fermentation tanks, as well as the age of the wine. So here's a fun fact. In the world, there are over 25,000 grape varieties that make wine. So that's a lot of grapes. And in Italy alone, which is a pretty pretty small country, generally speaking, but it's one of the top wine producing countries. They actually grow over 1,000 different varieties of wine. But generally speaking, the majority of wine in the world is made from about 18 primary grapes. We call those grapes the noble grapes. It started at a 6, but then it's broadened since then, and these 18 grapes are pretty much considered, those major grape varietals that make wine. So talking about the white spectrum, on the light end of the spectrum, we're talking about grapes like Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc is a very light-colored, thin-skinned grape. It produces wines that are very clear in color, with hints of like lemon tones, and some hints of green when you look at it up against the light. They tend to produce very, very dry wines that are a little bit lower in alcohol content, and they also have a flavor profile similar to, people would describe it as like citrusy or fresh and crispy. It's a great summer wine. We're going to be tasting one of those a little bit later on. And then as we move down the spectrum, we get a little bit deeper in color, more yellow, like a golden color. The most common grape that people know and drink in this category at the other end of the spectrum is the Chardonnay grape. It's got a flavor profile. It's a little bit higher in alcohol usually, and the flavor profile is oftentimes described as either apple or pineapple, banana, some vanilla and butter. And then moving over to the reds, on the light end of the spectrum, we have our very fragile, thin-skinned grapes, Pinot Noir and Gamay. Gamay is actually the grape that produces Beaujolais. And then Pinot Noir is essentially the most widely drunk red grape varietal in the world. These produce, as you can see, these translucent, lighter red wines. The flavor profile is typically of red fruit and spice. Things like red cherry is oftentimes, pomegranate is another one that's oftentimes used to describe the Pinot Noirs. And then moving again further down the end of the spectrum to our deeper, bolder wines are the grapes like Cabernet Sauvignon and Petit Syrah and Syrah. These wines are just a thicker skin, a much deeper purple-black color. They produce very opaque, heavier, full-bodied wines that tend to have a higher alcohol content, usually around 15%, and the flavor profiles are very much described like it looks, like these black, rich fruits like black raspberry and currants. So that's plum, black plum. It's my favorite. And those wines also tend to be a little bit more viscous, a little bit heavier. That's why they pair really well with heavier foods. They have it's a tannic quality. So the tannins are the molecule that actually kind of sticks in your mouth. And that's why they pair well with food, because the food will actually take those molecules off your tongue, so it kind of smooths the wine out for you. So that's the spectrum of wines.
Okay, Kathleen is going to talk a little bit about Old World versus New World wines.
Which also influences the way wines taste. So the New World wines are the wines that are coming from the Americas and everywhere that are not Europe and the Middle East. The Old World is considered the birthplace of wine, and that's geographically looking at it. New World versus Old World. Where is it grown? New World wines tend to be more alcoholic because they're grown in a warmer climate than the Old World wines. I found 4 things that I thought were interesting when looking at the difference between Old World versus New World. So again, we're looking at geography, Europe and the Middle East versus everywhere else in the world. Then it's what they are called and what they're named for. So Old World wines tend to be named for the region that they come from. And the New World wines tend to be based on the variety of grape that is making the wine.
So a great example would be like Burgundy.
Yeah.
Comes from Burgundy, France, that wine.
Right.
But if you have like a Chardonnay or a Pinot Noir from New World,
So geography, looking at the climate, also looking at how they are made. So your old world wines tend to be made in a more traditional sense, and they can make two different categories, either a traditional way of making wine or using science and technology. I think that's why I like old world wines better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like. Oh no, actually, no, that's not true. That is not true.
all wine.
I just like all wine.
wine.
Well, no, because it's a conundrum. So we say, so if you're making wine traditionally, you're using barrels, and you're not involving a lot of science or technology in it. When you're making New World style wines, you're using the steel vats, so you're not imparting any other flavors. And I do tend to like that, though, in an old world wine.
Yeah.
So the geography, I like old world, but I like
Which is
the,
probably why you're getting more of an earthy
Yes.
aroma out of those wines as opposed to.
yes, but I like the New World style because I don't necessarily like the taste of an oaky barrel in there. And the fourth thing, and this was interesting to me, it was the environmental factors versus the actual winemaker. So the New World wines in California tend to concentrate more on the actual winemaker, how they're making that wine, versus Old World wines are looking more at the weather, the soil, the topography, and really into the vintages, how it gets affected year to year.
Great.
All right, well, let's move on with
Wine tasting. Yeah. So hopefully everybody at home has your wines in front of you. Right now, you're going to pull out your first wine, which is a Sauv Blanc.
exactly, and the Sauvignon Blanc is a very great choice for a hot summer day. So this is the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It's called Black Cottage and fun. Sorry.
That's quite a
That's a nice pour.
All right. So this winemaker actually lives in a black painted wooden cottage, and they are very proud of the way they made this wine. Well, it doesn't really talk about how they make it, but it's sustainably grown. It says it on the front as well as on the back. It's also a vegan wine, so if you are into that sort of thing.
And we have a lot of customers who are, so that's good to
Exactly.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's just. It does.
It's just something
It
we-
does.
Yeah, Uva does. So a lot of people ask, what does Uva mean? Uva is great in Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish.
Exactly.
So that's your fun fact for Uva.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And let's
We're gonna look at the
color.
color, all that good stuff. Give it a
Now, why do we
swirl.
want a white wine to be refrigerated and cold, but not too cold?
It just the chilling of the white grape just brings out the flavor. It just makes it more evident. It's more enjoyable. But people shouldn't chill their wines too much. They shouldn't be at like refrigerated, like true refrigerated temperatures, because it actually flattens the flavor of the base wine.
So as you notice, when you come into Uva, we have all of our wines, the whites particularly, are in refrigerated units. What's the temperature that we have them all set at? 48 degrees
For the whites,
So
the whites are set at 48 to 50.
Yeah.
The Chardonnays are a little bit higher than that. And then the reds, the Pinot Noirs are at 62, and the rest are somewhere between right around 64 to 65.
So that's your fun fact at home. If you can go home and set your refrigerators to that, your lettuce might go bad, but your wine will be great.
All right, so this is like our light spectrum, starting out in the spectrum white.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So the Sauvignon Blanc will start out, it has that citrusy, lemony type flavor. What do you guys smell and taste?
Grapefruit.
It's a citrus, yeah.
Very typical for a New Zealand, or the New Zealand taste, as they like to say. This one's also married with some of the tropical fruit, like pineapple. What did you say?
I was thinking like mango.
Mango,
I like your
Yeah.
what do you-
Kiwi?
Kiwi.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Until you said it.
Very grassy, of course. That's a typical.
Yeah. It even has like a greenish tint
Yeah.
to it.
That green
I
juice,
think,
that
yeah.
green to it.
And then since it's grown in a dry region and the berries of this particular wine
fish tacos or, you know, anything you caught earlier that day on the boat.
Goat cheese, and if you want to marinate anything with something lemon based, it will go well with the Sauvignon Blanc.
Cheers.
Excellent. Cheers. All righty.
Oh.
I'll say no. We haven't. Tasting is only going to get better as we go. So if you're bored now, hold on. All right. The next one I'll get is
So
the
we're going-
Chardonnay.
Going up in intensity of white.
Yes.
So what
We're gonna
about
do the same.
white grape versus a red grape without the skin?
We're gonna.
Like white grape.
Oh, so you can actually make a white wine with red grapes.
Right.
And what they do is, I was talking about those pigments and the intensity. So what they do, the winemakers, they actually
Takes care of
crush.
No spitting or
She's
dumping.
got that. Okay. So.
Oh, I need to finish.
Sure. Go ahead. Sorry. Hope you're enjoying your trip at home. Okay.
And we asked about how red grapes make white
Can make
wine.
white wine.
Essentially, they crush and then they remove the skins and the pigment almost immediately. So you just have the white grape juice
Yeah.
to ferment.
Alrighty, so this is Hoopla Chardonnay. It comes from the Napa region of California. Chardonnay is actually the #1 grape in California. This comes from a winemaker who admittedly says they are not pretentious. A lot of winemakers can be pretentious. So as you can see, it has a really fun logo or label with a dog jumping, you know, for the hoop. Hoop is the name of the winemaker. So yeah, so they, the winemaker also rescues dogs, which I fully support. I just rescued a dog who's a little crazy, so I can relate to this right now. So they name their wines after fun rescue dogs that they've
What a different
Yeah.
smell.
So yeah, so you're gonna do your looking. It's definitely a much more golden color than the
Yeah.
Sauv Blanc.
Yep.
Swirl it, get the oxygen in there to release the smell.
Barrel.
No. So this is not. A lot of people ask for Chardonnay. So go ahead and try this at home.
Wait, wait, wait.
This a lot of people ask like for an oaky Chardonnay or not an oaky Chardonnay. This was aged in stainless steel vats, so it does not have that oaky taste.
Yep.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
smooth. It's creamy. Some people say creamy is the flavor.
Butter.
I don't
Yeah.
get a lot of. I don't actually get a lot of
Not
butter.
I don't
Yes.
get not this one. There's some Chardonnays out there that are very buttery.
Is that referring to maybe like the?
I think it
No.
like coats your tongue a little bit
Okay.
more, so it leaves like
It's
a
the way that it's fermented and aged in the barrels. It gives it this buttery vanilla taste.
Okay.
But because of the way this one is
Statement.
vinified,
Yep.
it's smoother and it has more like a. I don't know. Like I get pineapple on it, and I also get a little banana.
yeah pear.
Pear.
It
I get
tastes
pear
pear.
too.
I
Yeah.
don't taste a lot of fruit.
No,
I can see how you're saying butter though, because it is so smooth in a way. It's not the barrel type butter, like a different.
I want to say I taste wood, but
no, it's
You don't taste the
an
fruit.
oaky.
I don't take I don't know. I don't take. It's not like oaky because I don't like that. But
Right. Well, this isn't an oaky wine.
No.
Yeah, it's
It's like
stainless.
Chardonnay. I don't know. I can never identify. Who's a Chardonnay drinker? Are you?
I drink Chardonnay. Yeah, in the summertime, definitely.
Okay.
Goes great with pretty much any white meat. It goes with seafood like the Sauv Blanc does, but this is great for like chicken, shrimp.
This is not to me like traditional Chardonnay taste.
No.
Yeah,
That's
this is a
actually
little
the
bit more
Because
creamy.
I enjoy this.
That's the reason
I
why.
don't normally enjoy Chardonnay,
But
but
I chose this one because it wasn't necessarily our traditional
yeah.
oaky, buttery Chardonnay.
Yep.
So some people will be disappointed, I suppose, but I would invite
We have
everybody to
3
try this
other
because it's a really good
varieties.
one.
Right, that's why we
Right.
have 4 Chardonnays. Do we have 4 Chardonnays in the case now?
We have three right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and this is apple and pear. It's not as sweet. It's not like a sweet apple type of taste.
Right.
yeah.
More acidic or no?
It's medium acidity, I would say.
It's like a nice evening Chardonnay.
Yeah. Sit out on the patio.
I could drink that.
Screen and porch.
All right, Kathleen, you're up with that next one.
Alrighty.
All right, so
All right,
now we're
I
moving
will take
on
this away and
to
get your Pinot Noir,
the beginning spectrum of red.
right?
So the
so we're gonna
Sauvignon
take
Blanc
these
of
away. We'll get some fresh glasses since
Oh
we're
yeah, what
gonna
about
change.
cleaning our palate? Did we discuss that?
So in between wines?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
it's
you
a
need
good idea.
to do anything?
You don't need
from
to,
a-
but if you cleanse your palate, you're going to get, especially on the first sip of the next wine, you're going to get a much clearer taste of the wine. But ultimately, if you sip it a few times, it'll clean the palate for you.
So like
Speaking
when
of cleaning your palate too, a lot of people come in and are like, oh, do we have to, should we use the same glass or should we get a new glass? You know what?
that's why I'm asking.
As long as
Whatever you want.
your glass is empty, go ahead and put the next one in. It's not going to change the taste that much. Of course, you can get a new glass, or you can go to our water station and rinse it out. But
Yeah, or we'll give you a new one.
You can get a new glass. Yeah. All right. So this is your Pinot Noir, which is an ancient variety grape. The origin is Burgundy, France. It's supposed to be served with beef. I can't say it. Who speaks French? Beef. Bourguignon, whatever.
Beef Bourguignon.
Yeah, beef Burgundy.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what it goes with. This is a light-bodied red wine, again at the beginning spectrum of the reds. If you look at it, it's a translucent color, has like a nice garnet color, but again, it's lighter. The name, they speculate, Pinot Noir means black. Does anybody know what the Pinot? Pine cone, and that they think that it's, or they speculate that it's based on the fact that the clusters are very dense. You were saying that about the Sauvignon Blanc too. Mm-hmm. I think this is a pesky grape.
yeah,
It's
it's
pesky.
supposed to be very difficult to grow.
Difficult to grow,
That's why it's most expensive, or one of the more expensive wines available.
but it's so versatile. It makes the wine not only makes this wonderful Pinot Noir, it also makes champagne, sparkling English sparkling wines, and my favorite Italian French Quarter, which is just
We actually have a rosé coming in.
yeah,
That's a Pinot Noir rosé from Uruguay.
really.
Something to look forward to.
Wow, but that's warm. But that's warm. I wonder how they're doing this.
Well,
We're gonna find out.
We
Okay.
tasted it, we liked it, so we're bringing it in.
I
So
didn't taste it.
we weren't here that day.
I missed it.
I missed it too. Don't worry.
I missed it. I want to taste it. All right, so this is lower in alcohol than other more bold grapes that we'll
Right.
get to
So
as we
when you
move
say
down.
lower in alcohol, that's 13.5%. So
Yeah.
some of
But
them,
it's maybe it's
still
referring
better
to
than
the
beer, but-
taste. It's referring to the taste.
Yeah.
It's like less alcoholic.
well, we have ones that go up to 15.5% alcohol. So
I
it is lower on the
The
spectrum.
14.5 is pretty good
Yeah.
down there.
All right, let's taste this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's taste it because I wrote down some tasting notes. I like this. So this is Old World because it's from France, so it's on that side of the pond. And it is made though in a New World style, so that it is made in stainless steel and not wood barrels. And I think that makes this taste fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I
what do
like
you
it.
smell? What do you smell when you smell it?
Black cherry.
I smell the earth.
Earthy?
I smell earth. I love it.
So even though it's a New World style,
Yeah.
It's still
but it's from the Old World, so it still has that earthy.
That's right. When it doesn't have that, like, so we have a couple, one is from Oregon, one is from California, and, like, renowned, people love them. I don't love them. But I love this, even though it's not in a barrel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is not like my favorite. I'm a big Oregon Pinot Noir.
They
Yeah, so
don't, but they
that's
don't
my go-to,
smell like
but-
this. They just don't smell like
I
this.
smell prosciutto.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's
So
all
this
leather-
would be
I
good
feel
with prosciutto. Yeah.
leathery. It's
Yeah.
leathery
That's
to
what
me.
it is.
That's yeah,
And now
earthy,
roses.
leathery. Okay, so
Roses? All right.
okay, so on the cooler end, in New World growing conditions, we should be tasting. This is suggested: cranberries, red cherries, maybe some clove.
So I get red cherry almost
Yeah.
fully on this.
Do you?
Yeah, it's the fruity.
Okay, and then on the warmer end, mushroom, black plum.
Plum, I can see that. Yeah.
If it's warmer and redder.
Yeah.
I just think that it makes French Quarter. It's delicious.
It's kind of, I think Pinot Noir is just a really good starter red or go-to red.
I don't even taste
Cheers.
mine yet because I know I love it. I'm just loving this now.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
I like it. I like the
And that
Oregon one a
bird-
little
and
bit
that
better.
bird-
That's okay.
You do?
Yeah,
Do you
just an
really?
Oregon Pinot
Oh,
Noir. Love it, but
That
this
taste.
does not offend me anyways.
Okay, drink up, ladies.
Yeah,
okay,
Right,
okay.
final.
Okay.
Next one.
All right.
Everybody get the juggernaut ready.
Alrighty.
No spitting or spilling. Come on.
We are filming this in the morning, so
It's
for this is breakfast
It's
for
10.
Kathleen.
10. I already have my
Are you gonna
espresso.
finish yours or are you gonna
I'm
do this?
finishing this.
All
You
right,
cannot
well,
waste this.
Hold on.
French. Wow. Wait, let's
Then you're not gonna get your cab.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Hold on. Hold on.
Alrighty.
Should I pour myself?
Oh, shit.
Okay, we don't want me to. Fine.
Kathleen's wearing her true colors.
Yeah, my goodness.
Okay.
Okay,
Don't
so
judge
let's
me.
talk about the cab.
So this is our fourth selection. This is our California Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a hillside Cabernet. It is the grapes that are sourced for this wine. The reason why it's called hillside is that it's coming from a variety of appellations in California that are all steep, slopey hillsides. Most notably is the Sierra Foothills region. So this wine is a bold red. It's actually pretty smooth. So if you look at it,
It's definitely redder than the Pinot Noir.
it's a deeper
not
color.
You can
translucent.
tell just by looking at it.
Yes.
And people talk about the legs too of a wine. So
Talk
when you
about
do your, let's talk about legs.
Let's talk about legs.
So when you swirl your wine, what they're referring to is the way that it drips back into your glass. And sometimes if it has this thicker viscosity, yes, then the legs will be thicker. And then if not, if it's a thinner grape wine, then you're going to have thinner legs.
Is it like reading tea leaves?
So it is.
After a couple glasses, it is. All right, let's let Michelle finish. She's being very patient with us.
It's one of my better qualities.
Okay, it is. It absolutely is.
100%.
So, as I said, it's a bolder wine than the Pinot Noir, but it's pretty balanced, and it smells to me like ripe, dark fruits.
Leather.
No, it does not.
No, I don't like leather.
Leather.
She's been drinking a lot, so.
To me, it's like dark cherries, blackberries, and currants.
Oh, you gotta do my cheers. So apparently you can do cheers after you take the one. So,
Just hold it in your mouth.
yeah.
But it does have, it has some tannin, so it gets stuck there a little bit, but it's not actually as heavy or tannic as some Cabernets are. So
Yes.
it must have to do with it being sourced from all those different appellations.
And this is not a blend. This is
No, this is a
100%.
pure. Yeah, so
Okay.
this is a pure varietal Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
So for people who like Pinot Noirs or wines that are at the other end of the spectrum or first half of the spectrum, this is actually a good Cabernet to choose because it's not too heavy and dense.
Yeah.
And Cabernet Sauvignons, because of their heaviness and that tannic quality where it gets stuck, that's why they pair really well with heavier foods like red meats, like lamb and beef, and also like really strong cheeses like aged cheddars and Goudas, blue cheese.
How is this being, what is this being scored in?
It's an oak,
Yeah.
so it does.
So you're getting more
sort of-
tannin.
Yes.
From those.
It just has a little bit of it gives it a little bit of spiciness. The oak in it. The oak is not a new oak. It's a little bit older oak, so it's not as doesn't give it that real oaky quality. It's not as much. So that's why I actually like this one a lot, because I think it's
I do too.
it's got a balance. It's smooth as well
It
as
does.
skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, and to get even more complicated, there's so many different types of barrels that people
Yeah.
age their wines in. You can just get a plain oak barrel. Some of them use whiskey barrels,
Mhm.
so it pulls in some of the, the flavor of the whiskey that was in the barrel before.
So it's adding a second layer of
Yeah.
taste.
And let's talk about tannins for a minute, because I think that some people, when they're just getting into wine, they don't know what a tannin is.
So tannins are mostly associated with red wines, but there is some tannin quality in white wine as well. It's just not as it's not a primary source of the flavor profile. So essentially, tannins come from like the seeds and the skins and the stem of the grapes, and it's essentially a molecule, and it's what
Macromolecule.
when you actually drink wine, it's the reason why everything gets like it stays in your mouth, where you can still taste it and see it. So it's it like sticks.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
almost
sticky
like
quality
it's what
of
they
wine.
call like a dry wine, which I think a lot of people are confused by that. Like it's a liquid, how can it be dry?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a protein that binds to your tongue, so it kind of pulls the moisture from your tongue, so your tongue feels dry,
Polyphenol.
even though the biologist here.
It's a polyphenol. Macromolecule.
So that's what they mean when they say it's a dry wine.
Now,
It
people
kind of
say
dries
that
your tongue.
tannins give them headaches.
And the
Skin, seed, stems.
stem. So
Bark,
that's why
too.
when I explain it to people, they don't understand why is it making my mouth feel so weird.
Yeah.
They have some cheese with it.
Right, because
That's the protein,
food-
it'll bind to the protein of the cheese instead of your tongue.
Yeah, so it just takes it off your tongue.
But the barrels add to that.
Yeah.
They will add tannins to it.
Excellent.
So that's pretty much it for our wine tasting 101.
It is. Hopefully you guys have learned a little bit about wine and enjoyed the wines you have at home. I have a feeling these are the ones that are not going to make it into the bucket. We're going to have to finish out. Maybe the whole bottle. I don't know.
No spitting or spilling.
Right.
Not when I'm on duty.
Exactly. So hopefully you've enjoyed this wine tasting 101, and we look forward to welcoming you into Blue Out when you want to have some more wine.
Cheers.